Welcome to Mr. Nelson's YouTube videos. Today in class we are learning about dividing decimal numbers. So, what do I mean by dividing decimal numbers? Well, I mean if you have a decimal outside and you're dividing into a number, it can be a decimal as well. You need to know how to do that. And in order for you to do that, there's one simple rule. And it is swoop, there it is. Swoop, there it is. As many times as you do it outside, that's how many times you do it inside. All right, so here are the actual notes for dividing decimals. Okay, so if you need to move the decimal on the outside, as you can see here, I needed to move it 2 times to make it a whole number. Your outside number here of your division needs to be a whole number. It cannot be a decimal. So that's why we swoop. Okay, you move the same number of times inside as you did outside. And if you need to, make sure you add some zeros. Put the decimal right above your answer, just like our shark face. Okay, wherever your decimal's at is where it is in your answer. Wherever your decimal's at in your house is where your decimal is in your answer. And divide like usual. Okay. All right. So here's an example right here. We've got 9.75 divided by 0.75, or 75 hundredths. So you see that they swooped twice. Now outside it's 75, and inside they swooped twice. Now inside it's 975, and your decimal's now there at the end. So it's right there. Okay? And they already worked it out. 75 goes into 97 one time. We subtract, we get 22. Bring down the 5. Now it says 3 times. 3 times 75 is 225. And that zeroes out. Okay? This was a nice example. You didn't have any decimals. You didn't have to add any zeros. But we're going to look at the next one, and next one you're going to have to add some zeros. All right, we've got 35 hundredths divided into 70. The other way you can write that is 70 divided by 0.35, or 35 hundredths. Okay? Or you could write it as 70 over 35 hundredths, but we don't like to write fractions this way. Okay, so we'll stick with these two ways. All right, so we've got 35 hundredths into 70. Remember, swoop. Okay, I swooped once, I swooped twice, so I swooped twice, 2 times. So inside, I need to swoop 2 times. But I don't have my decimal. Where is it at? Remember, if your decimal's not there, it's at the end of your number. Okay? So I swoop 1, 2 times. Remember, if you don't have anything there, put your placeholders in. So your new division is 35 into 7,000. 35 does go into 70 2 times, and that's 70. Subtract, get 0, 0. 35 goes into 0 times. 35 goes into 0 times. Okay? Don't forget to keep those zeros up. If you've already zeroed out, in your division. You have to make sure that you have those placeholders there. So the answer to that question is 200. Okay? So what you definitely need to get out of what we learned today is swoop. If you swoop your decimal outside, if you swoop on the outside, if you swoop the decimal outside, if you have a decimal outside, you have to swoop. If you swoop on the outside, you have to swoop on the inside the same number of times. Okay? If you swoop on the outside, you have to swoop on the inside the same number of times.